What's up, everybody? This is the Force of Nature Spiritual Awakening, and tonight we will be discussing the compatibility of Synastry. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm kicking it off tonight. So now what Synastry is all about, it shows you your strength and your weaknesses. It shows you in a relationship the dynamics of it. It's going to show you how you struggle. It's going to show you how you blend very well. So now I'm going to kick this one off with Sun conjunction Neptune. So if you hear me say Sun conjunct Neptune, that's just how I just say it in shorter terms for you to grasp. But I'm going to kick it off. So now let's address what the Sun is all about. The Sun has to do with your self-image, your self-esteem. It has to do with the way that people perceive you in this life. It has to do with the outside opposed to the inside. Like the moon has to do with your deep-rooted emotions inside. But your Sun is everything that's going on the outside. So the Sun is connected to Leo. Leo is ruled over the 5th house in the natal birth chart. The 5th house is about creativity. It's about pleasure, casual affairs, having fun, and living your life up to the fullest. It shows you your children and the way that you take care of your children and how your children would be. So now, Neptune. Neptune is all about illusion, confusion, self-deception, being deceived. It has to do with magic and mystical matters. It also has to do with spirituality. But it brings chaos and a hazy fogginess to the table. So now, with Neptune, it's a very dreamy planet. And a lot of times you can look at Neptune in a dreamy light. You can look at things on an ideal level, putting things on pedestals, putting people on pedestals. So it can make you be unclear and have an uncertainty to it. So we're going to jump right into this tonight. Sun conjunct Neptune in Synastry. Now, this relationship is definitely going to be the type of relationship that is very much romantic, but very complicated. These men and women are very much drawn to each other beyond this physical realm. Okay? So they're going to fully look at each other in a strong, unrealistic light. Okay? And this is what these men and women do. If you have this with your partner or with somebody that you have dealt with, I'm breaking it down tonight. So now these men and women, the Sun person, the Sun holder, is definitely going to put strong ideals on the Neptune person. Going to just look at them like this is the person that just came into my life, changed my whole life completely around. I can really see myself with this person. I can see myself really doing very well with them. This is the Sun person looking at Neptune. And these two can look at each other the same exact damn way. They can look at each other as, I have finally found my soulmate. I have finally found my twin flame. I finally found the person that completes me, the person that was meant for me, the person that I'm supposed to share everything with. And these two can do this for quite some time. But now what happens is, in the beginning, the relationship is very much sensual and sexual, very romantic, very dreamy in nature. And what ends up happening is that these men and women find that they do have a strong spiritual bond, spiritual connection with each other. It's hard for them to let go of this soul bond relationship. Over time, these men and women will uncover and notice that the partner is not who they thought that they were. They can become highly disappointed, aggravated, and agitated to come to find out that all the ideals that they put on this person, the way that they envisioned them, the pedestal that they put them on, they are falling short and they are falling off this pedestal day by day. So now the sun person can very much feel very disappointed at the end of the day if the relationship comes to an end, because the sun person is going to feel like the Neptune person has deceived them, lied to them, made them believe things. But in reality, what is really going on is that the sun person has done this to themselves. They put the ideals on the person, gave them characteristics and traits that they so wished and hoped and loved for them to have. And they become disappointed because now they realize they don't have them. Okay? Now, the sun person will look at the Neptune person as being very much mystical, dreamy, alluring, sexy, just charismatic, and very magnetic. And now the Neptune person may very well hold these things, but then they add on extra shit to them that doesn't exist there. Whatever those things might be. Okay? The Neptune person can feel very much intrigued by the sun person, giving them all this affection, all this love, all this attention. But the sun person will keep on insisting on throwing them up on a pedestal that these men and women are not going to be able to uphold or maintain or keep going. So the sun person is going to feel like the Neptune person has misled them in a relationship, had them believe a certain kind of way. And in all reality, the sun person is actually doing it to themselves. Sure is doing it to the goddamn self. So now with this placement in Synastry, Sun conjunct Neptune, these men and women can really go back and forth with themselves for a long period of time on this spiritual bond, the spiritual connection. This can be also a combination that is very much indicated as a victim-savior relationship. They can find themselves in a codependent relationship where the partner, one of the partners, very much becomes dependent on the support and guidance of the other person. Feeling like if this person is not in their life, it's going to be hard for them to fully grasp, fully understand, be able to maintain whatever it is. Now, this can go for bills, okay? You know how you're just with somebody because of financial situations. This can take place in this aspect, all right? You can have a partner that's taking care of you, looking out for you, making sure that you're okay, making sure that you're good, making sure that you have food, making sure things are being well kept up in the home. And if this relationship breaks down, this is not the case anymore because the partner's not there, okay? So the sun person can very well look at the Neptune person as being an authority figure. Could look at the person in a light of even being their mother or being their father, okay? And even if they don't quite look at it as you being my mother or father, they look at you in a light that you can be here for me. You can be my support system. You can be that person that can uplift me when I'm weak, uplift me when I'm down, okay? Bring my hopes up. This is what happens with the sun person. The sun person truly believes that the Neptune person is the fucking one for them. What else can I say about this placement? Neptune will very much recognize that a role is being put on them, and they will play this role out for quite some time. But what happens with the Neptune person is the Neptune person begins to get bored or bothered or loses interest okay? Or something in a relationship just ultimately just tumbles down and breaks down, where now the Neptune person feels like they need to be free, or they have a great awakening that this is not the person for me. This is not where I should be. And they decide that they want to pick up and leave the Sun person behind. And because of this, the Sun person can be very much confused, angry, bitter, feel like they got their heart ripped out their chest, and still long for this love. They can still, not even being with the person, still have this person on their mind. This person will come into their mind from time to time, and they would even still hold this person in an idealistic light. Still do it. Okay? Still thinking that they was the one, or they could have been the one, or I let a good one get away. This is what can happen. But then they also can be thinking on the negative side, as if the Neptune person did this on purpose, or set them up, or made them believe that they was the one. They'll start going back and forth because it's hard for them to figure it out, because they still hold these same damn ass ideals. Also, with this placement, this is a tricky placement to have if you have this with a lover, if you have this with an ex-lover. It's very much tricky, because with this combination, you don't really see this in long-lasting relationships, because it's like the fire is very hot. It's very spiritual as far as connecting wise, but as far as being solid, it's not there, because it's unrealistic in nature. It's an optical illusion. Okay, you're perceiving each other from a different light. You're feeling like this person is this and they're not. So it's not clear, and it's very hazy, and it's very foggy, and a lot of hurt feelings can happen at the end of the day. A lot of people can be highly disappointed and disgusted at the end of the night. And this is what it is with this placement. So this placement is not favorable for any type of long-lasting relationships, even if it was not a committed, intimate relationship. Even if it was a friendship, it's not even well welcomed. So in order to have this in a long-lasting relationship, you're definitely going to have supportive aspects to back this up, to smooth out this shit, because this right here is very much dangerous, and it's very deceptive. Okay, it really opens up doors for you to be lied to, for you to be cheated on, for you to be set up, literally, okay, lined up. And a lot of things can go on with this placement if you're not careful. Okay, the Sun person can feel very much overwhelmed and feel very much obsessed with the Neptune person. Even when the relationship breaks down and dies, the Sun holder, whoever is the Sun person in this relationship, is going to feel absolutely devastated. But now on the outside, it can appear like they don't care, like they don't even give a fuck, because you have to remember that the Sun is all about your image. It's all about your self-esteem and how you look on the outside. But now underneath the surface, it's going to be some deep-rooted shit going on, okay? And they might not even expose it to you. They might not expose it to their close friends, but it's still going to go on within them, and the memory is very fresh in their mind, and it did not die. It's still there. What went on and what took place, that you were the perfect match for them. Okay. Also with this placement, these men and women can very well be in this relationship, and even though it is a spiritual connection, okay, it can lead to deception, it can lead to dishonesty, and it can lead to deceitful acts. Things can go on and take place, and it will not turn out very well. It will not turn out good. Things can jump off and take place that are very much destructive. But the ideals of the Neptune person is going to be very much perceived from an unrealistic light. Okay, so the Sun person is definitely looking at the Neptune person as this was the gift of my world. This was the person that I let go, because this relationship can definitely break down to fucking ashes. All right, and this can even get to the point where you don't even speak to the person. Okay, on the phone, or you might not even be into communication with this person any longer. And this is the type of placement where you'll see, especially the sun person will be more of the type of person that would be looking for you, asking about you, how you're doing, what you're up to, who you're with. This is definitely what could go on and take place. Now, don't get me wrong, because the Neptune person can also do the same damn thing. Okay, but now with the Neptune person, their ideals are not foggy and unclear like how they once were in the relationship. The Sun person seems to have been blinded, and feels like the Neptune person has did this shit to them. Okay, so there could have been very well, like, if they was living together in a relationship. Okay, the Neptune person decided this is not what I'm going to do anymore. But the Sun person could have very well been very much deceitful, lying, cheating, and deceiving them. So they decided that they was going to leave and walk away from the relationship. Probably left the relationship and didn't even leave you fucked up. But you still feel like they did some bullshit to you by just absolutely leaving you, because you felt like that the bond was a little bit more stronger, the bond was a little bit more deeper. The Sun person could have very much felt like the Neptune person was their perfect match, their life partner. Okay, and the Neptune person could have also felt the same way and said that same exact thing to the Sun person. So now when the Neptune person leaves, walks away, and no longer is in communication or dealing with them on that level anymore, the Sun person now becomes very much disturbed, very much bitter, because the memory is lingering in their minds that they was the one, that was my soulmate, and that was the person that I was supposed to be with, not somebody else. So this is very tricky. If you have this with a partner, please be cautious, because this can go many different ways. But what this is a spiritual link, connection, and bond. Okay, I don't want to say an unbreakable bond, because you could very much feel like with this that the bond has been broken, but you can say it's an unbreakable bond because the memory is still alive. It's still there. Everything that went on and everything that took place, because you have to remember that at one point in time, it was a lot of fire. It was a lot of passion. It was a lot of communicating and connecting on that level. So this is a placement that's going to be very hard to let go of, because somebody in this relationship definitely was being a provider, standing up and stepping up, taking on that role, making sure things was going to be good, making sure shit was going to be solid and things was going to get done. And now that the relationship is not fucking there and it's not over, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the Sun person. They're going to find themselves in chaotic situations and other relationships, dealing with other people. And this is what brings them back to the Neptune person in their mind. Because it doesn't mean that they're going to get back with the Neptune person. But now, all the things that went on and took place, now they recognize the Neptune person for who the fuck they really was. Okay? But they will still have other ideals on them. So this is tricky. It's so damn tricky. But this is my interpretation of the Sun conjunction Neptune and Synastry. In future videos to come, I will go into more depth into this. Please be sure to check out my online store. It is Grimy Gear at www.grimygear.com. If you need my husband to do any work to your home, swimming pool, or business, his business is Steve's handy helpers. And you can hit them up at aronnesbitt90@gmail.com. If you need me to cater for you, any event that you have in mind, I am the Chef Goddess also, and I got you. You can hit me up at supremeroyalcatering@gmail.com. If you need me to break down your birth chart, analyze your birth chart, it will be $70. If you need me to do a compatibility chart, synastry chart, or a composite chart, it will be $90. So this has been a Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I will see you on the next one.